I'm going to help you solve this problem you're having, the parabolic function, right? So they gave you a homework and you couldn't answer. So we're looking at your homework. I'm gonna rewrite an equation for you, right? So this is your handwriting, and I'm gonna put down my handwriting to counter what you've written, right? So unfortunately, you might have taken the incorrect information down, but it's fine. So let's just look at this equation first of all. For it to be a parabolic function, it has to meet a certain requirement. So I'm gonna quickly put down a parabolic function for you. So let me start off with maybe saying f of x is equals to let's say x squared minus 2x minus 3. So this is what we'll be looking at, right? So for this, we'll just put a question mark on it, right? Because you can easily solve for this by squaring both sides or something, but let's focus on this equation for now. So let's go up and start solving. So to solve for such, the first thing that you need to do is to maybe get your y-intercepts. So let's go here and write y-intercept. So y-intercept. So your y-intercept generally is whenever you make your, let's say, x equals naught. That's when you get your y-intercept. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite the equation. So f of x can be written as y, right? So I'm looking for my y-intercept. Wherever there is an x, I put a naught. So what I do is I go ahead and put a naught there, squared, and remember the equation I'm writing. So it's x squared minus 2x minus 2, gain a naught, and lastly negative 3, right? So once you have that down, you can always deduce that, okay, therefore y is equals to negative 3, because anything multiplied by naught becomes a naught, right? So we get our negative 3 from that. So now we'll be looking for our x intercept. Okay, let me just put it as an intercept. So x intercept, for x intercept, our y will be equals to naught. So y naught is equals to we go x squared minus 2x minus 3. Does this factorize? It looks like it does, right? So to get our x-intercepts, we'll simply have our two brackets right there. So 3 will be negative times 1, right? So let's have our x's on both sides, x and x. So this one will be positive, so that this can be able to return to that. All this equals to naught. We therefore product of x will be equals to negative 1 for, or x will be equals to, or x will be equals to a 3, right? So here the points that we have here are actually, let me just put it in brackets. You have your, when x is negative 1, now y is 0, right? Or where x is 3, y is 0. So you have those 2 points there. So now that you have the 4 points, or let me say again for this, when x, for for your y value, when x is not, y is negative 3. That's for your y-intercept. So now we have 6 points in total. Let's look for our final 2, where we'll be using the axis of symmetry. Now for the axis of symmetry, you can have your x is equals to negative b, which is the formula. It should be on your information sheet, over 2a. Now, what is your b, what is your a? So according to what you've been given down here, let's go down there, let's go down there, down here, a is equals to 1, b is equals to 2, rather negative 2, and c on the other hand is equals to negative 3. So those are your points. So now you are going to substitute directly where you have your x equals to, where there's b, you put your negative negative what? Negative 2, yes, negative 2. And where there's 2a, you will have your 2 times 1, right? So the negative here is still there because this is negative 2 and you still have the negative 2 for the formula. So negative times negative is positive. So 2 divided by 2 is 1. So here you'll have your x being equals to 1, and then now you have to substitute this axis of symmetry back into the formula for you to have a complete turning point. Now your turning point consists of an axis of symmetry and the y. And now let's calculate the y by substituting back into the f of, let's say 1, and then is equals to, now we are going to start inserting 1 to the power of 2 minus 2 times 1 minus 3. Now what is your solution? 1, so you have your negative 4, right? So negative 4, to sketch this type of function, you should note that the graph, if the a is positive, the graph is gonna be a smiley face. It's gonna go like this. So you need to figure out where the points are on the graph. So let me draw a graph, a rough sketch of a graph. So we start off with our axis. So when we have our 3 and our naught, right? And after that we will have our negative 1 and our naught. So to sketch this graph, you are gonna then consider where your turning point is. It's at negative 4 and 1, right? So x is 1 there, negative 4 is right there. So that's where we plot. Now you have your 2 points and your turning points. You can then start drawing. Remember your y value, which is 3, negative 3 and 0 should be here. So this is how you would do your function for parabola. Then nonsense.